Hi, Taehyung Lovers. Welcome back to the Taehyung Lovers channel worldwide. And this time, don't you dare skip the first 3 seconds. Because what you're about to hear is not just a concert story. This is a moment that made the K-pop world pause for a second and ask in the same tone. Why did Kim Taehyung suddenly disappear after the explosive stage at Tokyo Dome? No car, no wave, no usual closing. And even crazier, the journalists started to panic. ARMY began to speculate, and one name suddenly became the biggest mystery of that night. This is not just an idol going home late. This is a small gap that opens up many big possibilities. Was it because of extreme exhaustion after the brutal performance he delivered? Or is there a secret agenda behind his status as a global ambassador for Celine and Cartier? Or is there something intentionally kept from the public, while other BTS members had already returned to Korea? Why was Kim Taehyung still left behind in Japan? Coincidence or a meaningful decision? In this video, we will uncover everything from the moments journalists started losing track, the strange signs on stage that you might not have noticed, to the most logical reasons that are rarely discussed. We'll also talk about how one absence could trigger global emotions, from disappointment, curiosity, to wild theories that split the fandom. So if you want to know what really happened behind that unusual Tokyo night, make sure you watch until the end. Write your opinion in the comments. Do you think it's just exhaustion or something bigger? Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video so the world keeps seeing the good side of Kim Taehyung that is often hidden behind the spotlight. Media journalist report. April 2026, after the concert ended at Tokyo Dome, the atmosphere felt unusual and extraordinary. Not because the voices of tens of thousands of fans disappeared, in fact. Their echoes were still lingering in the air, as if refusing to truly end. But there was one thing that immediately felt off, something unseen yet very real. Where is Kim Taehyung? That question didn't come as a whisper. It arrived like sharp pressure, repeated, and almost forcing everyone at the location to think the same thing. In the world of global entertainment, there are moments that follow the script, and then there are moments like this when the script suddenly collapses. Outside the airport area, the journalists who remained began moving faster than usual. Cameras were still rolling, spotlights not fully turned off, and microphones still raised high, as if waiting for a final scene that never came. Fellow reporters keep asking, right? Why isn't Kim Taehyung's car here? Why isn't his Bentley here? Said one journalist, his tone no longer just curious, but filled with emotional pressure. That sentence quickly spread to the crowd, becoming a second echo after the concert, the echo of unease. Usually, the departure of a star as big as Kim Taehyung is not just routine. It is part of a public narrative, a closing chapter everyone anticipates. Journalists prepare to capture a wave, a brief smile, or even just a silhouette behind a car window. But that night, all expectations were unmet. No vehicle convoy, no significant security movement, no sign of presence. And at that point, emotions began to shift. Some journalists tried to remain rational, linking the situation to a tight schedule. But many began to question it. Was this a sudden decision? Was there an unannounced change of plans? Or was this something bigger than just a delay? In a fast-moving and highly structured industry, an unexplained absence quickly becomes an empty space, one that speculation rushes to fill. The fact that later emerged painted a calmer picture, though they did not fully ease the curiosity. According to internal sources in the entertainment industry, Taehyung experienced significant exhaustion after completing a series of major concerts in Tokyo. A packed schedule, high-performance intensity, and the pressure of being the center of attention every second were cited as the main factors. In this context, his absence was not a dramatic decision, but a consequence of extreme professional demands. If we go back a few hours earlier on stage, the signs could actually be felt even if not easily recognized by casual viewers. Under dramatic purple lighting, Kim Taehyung performed with full control, as he always does, dressed in dark, minimalist attire that enhanced his elegant and mysterious image. But there was one different element. His gaze. He wasn't searching for the camera, nor overly engaging with the audience. Instead, his eyes were directed far ahead, toward an undefined point, as if holding something unfinished. For some, it was artistic expression. For others, it was a sign of hidden exhaustion behind professionalism. Meanwhile, the offstage dynamics added more layers to the story. Several BTS members, including Park Jimin, Young Hoseok, Min Yoongi, and Kim Namjoon, were reported to have already returned to South Korea via private jet. Their departure was quick and efficient, marking the end of one phase of the group's schedule in Japan. But not all members followed the same pattern. 3 names remain in Japan: John Jungkook, Kim Taehyung, and Kim Seokjin. There was no official statement explaining the specific reason, but in industry practice, this is not unusual. Individual schedules, professional commitments outside the group, and personal needs often result in non-uniform movements among members. In Kim Taehyung's case, there are several logical factors that could explain his decision to stay in Tokyo. As a global ambassador for major brands like Celine and Cartier, his presence in a major city like Tokyo is often linked to additional agendas ranging from exclusive photo shoots, strategic meetings with brands, to collaboration projects not yet announced to the public. Beyond professional aspect, there is another equally important dimension. Kim Taehyung is known for his deep connection to the arts, especially jazz music and photography. On several occasions, he has expressed interest in cities with strong character and artistic value. Tokyo, with its blend of modernity and tradition, offers an ideal space for an artist to step away from the global spotlight for a moment. Visiting hidden jazz bars, spending time in uniquely aesthetic cafes, or simply walking without a formal agenda, all of these are very realistic possibilities. From this perspective, his absence in the public area that night can be seen not as an anomaly, but as part of a rarely seen balance. On one side, he is a public figure with immense global expectations. On the other, he remains an individual who needs personal space, especially after undergoing intense activity. But what made this event truly phenomenal was not the facts, it was the reaction it triggered. Within hours, the simple question, "Where is Kim Taehyung?" evolved into a widespread discussion among media and fans. This reveals something difficult to ignore. Taehyung's presence is not only measured by his appearance on stage, but also by the emotional impact he leaves even when he is not seen. In the end, there was no indication of crisis, no evidence of an emergency situation, and no official statement pointing to anything suspicious. What remains is a series of events that, when placed in the right context, become logical and understandable. But in a world where public perception plays a huge role, logic often moves slower than emotion. And perhaps that is where the true power lies. Because on that night in Tokyo, Kim Taehyung didn't need to appear to become the center of attention. His absence created a larger space for speculation, emotion, and curiosity that is hard to extinguish. The question has now shifted not just where is he, but why does the world react so strongly when he is not there? The answer may never be fully clear. But one thing is certain. Even in silence, even in absence, the name Kim Taehyung still holds the power to move the world. And at this point, we are not just closing a report, we are opening a bigger question. The night at Tokyo Dome has ended. The lights have gone out. But one thing still lingers in the world's mind. Why did Kim Taehyung choose not to be seen when all eyes were waiting for him? Thank you for watching until the end. If you feel this video open a new perspective, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. If you don't like it, feel free to skip because Taehyung Lovers channel never forces anyone. But one thing is certain, every story always has a side that hasn't been revealed, and this is where we talk about it. Now it's your turn. Do you think it's just exhaustion, or is there something intentionally hidden? Write your opinion in the comments. And don't forget, help make this go viral so the world continues to see the good side of Kim Taehyung that is often hidden behind the spotlight. Kmedia Journalist Report, April 2026. Stay tuned for the latest updates only on Taehyung Lovers. Thank you, and see you next time. Stay safe, and keep following the latest news about Kim Taehyung only on this channel.